What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 37 of C4SVillains. I am your host JB and I am here as always with the Council of Villains, my boys Abe and Steve. Guys, thank you so much for joining me because we are going to be talking about this incredible episode of What If.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. That shit was banging. That was an episode. Uh-oh, Abe,
I think you're muted. While Abe's muted. Yeah. So like I said, guys, this episode of What If was absolutely insane. I've been waiting since Wednesday to talk about this episode. I've seen it so many times since then. I think I've watched it like at least 4 or 5 times today alone. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, nah, I mean, yo, hey, you know what, Joe, you know how I am today. It is Niger Independence Day. We are 61. Oh, more Niger. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm excited. I mean, that Ultron episode was lit. Today is Friday. Today's October 1st. It's lit. We happy. We drinking. We having fun. We about to talk comics. What a great day to be alive, yo. What a great day to be alive, honestly.
Yeah, man. Happy Independence Day on air.
Yeah. I see cheers into it.
Yeah, I got my glass of wine right here. I'll be celebrating with you, my friend.
Day. You know, you see, I got the Niger, the practice jerseys that Nike dropped a couple years ago. Got my flag, of course, and then this is the best part. This is the best part because I sleep with this every night, right? I got me a whole crocheted Niger blanket, the Nigerian flag.
Oh, nice.
You know, from the homie Wang Sabi Bop. She's a listener of Careful for Spoilers, It Mob, also an A, you know. She hooked me up. She did a great job with that, John.
Nice.
Love it. So yeah, you know, I'm regal today. You know, I'm regal today. So what we gonna get started with?
Yeah, man. So first thing up, I only have one piece of news for you guys tonight because I really want to spend a lot of time just talking about this Ultron episode, possible predictions for the finale, what this means for season 2, like the future of the MCU. So let's get into the one piece of news that I have for you guys today, and that is Disney and Scarlett Johansson has finally settled the lawsuit regarding the Black Widow lawsuit. Right, this is good to hear, and I'll pull up the article right here so everyone can see it. But Scarlett Johansson and Disney have settled the breach of contract lawsuit and all of that stuff. So I'm really glad this happened. They didn't reveal any like deep details as to what happened behind the scenes, how much money did Scarlett get in like this back end deal that they did. So I'm really glad that they settled this because I think losing Scarlett Johansson would be a huge problem for Disney. She at one point was the highest paid actress in Hollywood. She is a huge part of the MCU. She's been in a part of the MCU since Iron Man 2. So I think it's really important that you respect the people that help build what you have right now.
Yeah.
And with them squashing the beef, we now officially will get her in the Tower of Terror movie that Disney's making. So this makes me really happy. What about you guys?
Man, it was I mean, we kind of knew that something had to give. You know, it's just there's no way that this could end too terribly. In fact, I was especially camera off, especially with just the other Disney projects that she's working on, like Tower of Terror. It's like, okay, if you cut out Scarjo, what happens with this much anticipated project that you guys are going to drop? So it's one of those things where honestly I could see it as like, all right, you paid me the money, we're just business partners at this point, we're no longer friends, but we will work professionally to get some stuff done. So I'm excited, I'm happy, just glad to get that mess out the window, really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that they settled their differences and it wasn't like crazy or too ugly or anything like that.
That we know of.
Yeah, I guess behind the scenes we don't know how it went, but at least you know what I'm saying it's done and it's taken care of, because
Absolutely.
it's one of those things where like once you're with Disney, like you're set for the rest of your life. So a bad divorce would not have been good on either part. You know what I'm saying? Because still it would have been like a bad taste in other people that are trying to join Disney. You know what I'm saying? They would always have that thought of, look how they did Scarlett. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think it's good that they settled that in a good way, because you have a bad Scarlett situation, and then if somehow like Terrence Howard starts doing the Me Too, like, yeah, Disney's bad, and then it's two people and somebody else gets a bad situation, and then all of a sudden it could just chaos into something bad. So I'm glad that it got settled in a good way.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that we never got to see Terrence Howard as Rhodey past the first Iron Man movie, but it is what it is. Like at that point, yes, you were paid way more money than RDJ for the first movie, but RDJ made that movie. You did not make that movie.
You
right?
weren't even a huge part in the first movie, really.
Yeah,
You
like
just
Iron Man is still like one of my favorite movies, top 5 MCU movies, because RDJ and Jon Favreau made that movie. I'm sorry, but anyone could have been Rhodey, right? Terrence Howard was good, but it could have been anyone.
And now that Don Cheadle's there, like Don Cheadle seems like the better Rhodey.
Yeah.
Like, it just is like, why didn't you choose him in the first place? Like, you should have went with him in the first place, is what it seems like. So yeah, I don't feel like they missed a beat by switching over at all.
Yeah.
No, they definitely did it. Don Cheadle is already a better actor, as mentioned already. I mean, it's just you have Terrence Howard, and then you have Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Who really lost here?
I mean, he does have an Oscar, so you do have to give him some respect.
Yeah, but dude, how much stuff are we gonna give in Oscars? Because I mean, the Oscars have been.
It's been fine the last couple of years.
Iron Man. I just needed to at least one time. Iron Man.
But yeah, man, I'm really, really glad that this is settled, and I'll bring up the article one more time, and I'm gonna read it here. But Scarlett Johansson said, "I am happy to resolve our differences with Disney. I'm incredibly proud of the work we've done together over the years, and I've greatly enjoyed my creative relationship with the team. I look forward to continuing our collaboration in years to come." And then the chairman of Disney Studios, they went on to say, "I'm very pleased that we've been able to come to a mutual agreement. And now she'll be able to, like I said, she'll be able to be in the Tower of Terror movie, because I don't think they would have been able to make a really good Tower of Terror movie without a big name. And if this goes down, like you guys already mentioned, people might not want to do it. They want to avoid boycotts. It's like, well, you don't treat your actors fairly. We know you have the money, Mouse. We know you have the money. So it's like, you have to treat your people fair, especially when they've put years of their life into making you money and making the MC what it is.
Yeah. And like, we know they have the money. Like, Disney's just petty sometimes. Like, I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, or I don't know if it was yesterday or sometime this week. It was yesterday or the day before, but they posted something about Ice Age being like such a great movie and all that other stuff. And it was all like, what a great series and stuff like that. And people was all like, yeah, you guys bought out the studio. Like they bought out Blue Sky and basically took over all the rights to it. So now all of a sudden Ice Age is a great picture. But before they, you know what I'm saying, they would have never done that. And it's just like the pettiness of it is just like Disney's just, they're just pretty petty. So it's funny that, like, you know what I'm saying, this is settled and it's good because, man, everybody would have started thinking about all the petty moves that they make and things like that. And it's a monopoly.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you know, like you said, Disney got the money. Why Disney being stingy, y'all? Like, come on now, just pay what you owe and then keep it pushing, as if you're not going to recoup that in like the next movie. Which, you know, James, you shared that tweet earlier. Shang-Chi made 200 mil, the first movie during the pandemic to gross that much domestically. It's like, come on now, you're gonna make your money back.
Makes no sense to not like try to give her something.
Yeah, man. Like, just pay her. Like, what does it hurt to just pay her? She's going to make you more money in the future. But on the topic, what do you guys think about a Tower of Terror movie in general?
So I did not know anything about the Tower of Terror movie until y'all said something about it. Before then, I don't really know too much about Tower of Terror, the series. I know that Kristen Dunst was in it. I never watched the old one. You know what I'm saying? So I know Kristen Dunst was in it, but I have no idea how this Tower of Terror is gonna play out. Only Tower of Terror I know about is the actual part in fucking Disneyland. Like I don't.
Yeah, so it's like, so are we? Is it going to be just like a haunted house movie essentially? Like, is that what's gonna happen? And there's gonna be a bunch of scenes with the elevator, I guess. Like,
I have no idea because I was about to say. So it's a haunted house. The movie is pretty much about a haunted house and things like that. Well, that's what the story is, just pretty much a premise on a haunted house.
I mean, I don't know much about it, but I do know that the hotel's haunted.
And you know, Scarlett Johansson kind of fits that. I can see her playing kind of I don't know what position she's playing, but I don't feel like she's gonna play like a hotel guest. I feel like she's gonna play an actual somebody, maybe a ghost or something like that. I don't know exactly what character she's playing, but I could see her playing like a mortician or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I also think she might be working behind the scenes with Tower of Terror 2 and like some producer or directorial kind of role.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's producing it too. Yeah,
that would be dope.
Yeah, Ray says there's a lot of cool lore behind Tower of Terror. I don't know it, so I mean, if there is, I would love to see it, because I wasn't impressed with Jungle Cruise, if I'm being honest. Like, it's a very paint by numbers, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Mummy ripoff, and that's not what I want to see in Tower of Terror, right? Like, if you're gonna make it, like, make it good, like, make it an actual horror movie, you know, lean into it. But who knows?
Yeah, nah, real talk.
Yeah, I know. I've seen my kids play like the Disney. There's like a Disneyland game or whatever where you can just basically run an avatar through Disneyland Park, pretty much. So I've seen them play the Tower of Terror parts and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see exactly what it's actually about, like what the actual storyline is about, to see why some of the weird stuff that was going on. Because there's one thing where they're just falling through the sky and stuff like that, and I'm like, yo, what happened? Like, so I'm actually interested to know the storyline between that.
Yeah. So, Breeze brought up a really interesting question. So, does RDJ have any leg to stand on based on the few bucks that he got from Doolittle? Pretty much talking about what does RDJ have to offer currently outside of the MCU, right? Because he did The Judge, it was okay. Doolittle is absolutely atrocious. So it's like,
he's done Sherlock Holmes. You've got Due Date.
Due Date was funny. Sherlock Holmes is good.
I mean, if you want to, you got Tropic Thunder, even though that's long ago.
Really good.
So you know he could do some really good method acting. Yeah, I mean, it would just, I guess it would have to be the right role, wouldn't it? Because you don't know what, I mean, if he's just taking roles like Doolittle, that's a him and his agent thing. That's not his acting. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with him. It's just like the choice of his projects. Like, I don't know why The Judge didn't do well. Like, it was decent enough. You know what I mean? Like Like it could have gotten more eyes on it, but yeah, Doolittle was not good. But you did bring up really good ones. Like Due Date's really funny. If you haven't
Yeah,
seen Due Date, go see Due Date. Have you seen it,
that
Abe?
is funny.
No, I haven't seen Due Date. The only RDJ films I've seen is Tropic Thunder, the Sherlock Holmes films, of course, anything MCU, and that's really it. Yeah.
See him in Chaplin, U.S. Marshals,
the Soloist.
Yeah, no.
The
No,
Soloist.
I didn't see those projects.
What's the Zodiac movie that he's in? The one with the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, Zodiac.
That's Zodiac.
Oh,
Okay,
I didn't know he was in Zodiac.
Yeah, it's him,
Jake
Mark
Gyllenhaal.
Ruffalo, and Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal is in a lot of those like crime-esque type movies with serial
he's
killers.
really good.
It was really good. Yeah,
he
was in. I don't know if you remember an old movie. It's called Heart and Soul.
Never seen it.
Heart and Soul is pretty much like he was a kid, and there's these 4 people that died, and like I guess before you die, you become someone's guardian angel for a little while. But basically, as a guardian angel, you're trying to, guess in a sense, inception your way into the kid meeting up with your old relative, so you can say your final goodbyes to the kid. So basically, the kid tells his parents about the 4 ghosts. 4 ghosts take him to psychology, and he represses them. The angels feel like, oh, we don't want to get him sent to a psychiatric ward or anything, so we're just gonna go invisible. So then 20 years later, the angel of death is basically like, all right, you guys ready to go to heaven or hell or wherever? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because you should have said goodbye by now. And they were like, we didn't know that we had to do it. We just thought we were stuck to this kid forever. And it was like, well, it's time to go. And now the kid is Robert Downey Jr. as a, you know what I'm saying? It's a really good it's like a wholesome, heartwarming movie. It's pretty funny, but it's old. It's like Robert Downey Jr. maybe like 22, 23, super young in that movie. It's pretty good though.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
He's also in Natural Born Killers too. I just thought about that one.
Oh yeah. And wasn't he the one? So isn't the dang it, the comic movie Sweet Tooth? He directed that, right? Am I not?
I have no idea. Looking it up right now.
I think that's him that directed that or produced it or had something to do with Sweet Tooth.
Probably produced it. Yeah, I'm not sure.
That might be something that he's working on too, instead of doing acting, getting into more like producing and stuff like that.
I would love to see him like act in a TV series, like a true detective, like true crime type shit. Like, I think he'd be really good at it.
Just have him, do a crossover with BBC with Benedict Cumberbatch and do a Sherlock Holmes, enters the multiverse type of series.
Into the multiverse.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock.
Yeah, you can get Henry Cavill in there.
Yeah, we get RDJ and Cumberbatch together as the 2 Sherlocks. Just like, hey, now I believe in the multiverse theory too. All right, bet then. Let's keep it pushing. Let's go stop Moriarty or some John. Why not?
Get Henry Cavill, Ian McKellen.
Yeah, there we go. We good.
I think we'll get a Sherlock Part 3 for some reason. I feel like
it's happening.
Coming.
It's already happening.
With RDJ?
With RDJ and Jude Law. Yeah, and Jude Law.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I'm very, very excited for that.
I enjoyed the first 2 movies. They were good. I thought RDJ did a great job as Sherlock Holmes. But here's the question: who's a better Sherlock Holmes, RDJ or Benedict Cumberbatch?
Oh, Benedict by several thousand miles.
That's the only answer.
Yeah,
I love Benedict. Honestly, I can't get over him.
The narcissism, bro. Like he just perfectly
captured it.
He gets
perfectly
it.
captured it. It's just
so.
Ill.
Who do you think's a better Watson? Martin Freeman or Jude Law? Because I almost feel like Jude Law's a better Watson. That might be sacrilege, but
I was about to say I think Jude Law. I think because of with the Sherlock that we get with Robert Downey Jr. there's more action in it. So Jude Law, I guess in a sense, is more exciting. And I think that's the thing that puts it over the hill for me.
I go Martin Freeman because we spent so much time with him. Like we got to really know Watson. You know, it's probably the most time we spent with Watson outside of the novels when it comes to iterations of Sherlock Holmes stories. So I do enjoy Freeman, but Jude Law did a good job too. You know how Hollywood likes to whiteify, movies from overseas, such as Sherlock Holmes, for example. We'll get, we'll eventually get a white version of Squid Game, where, like you said, JV, it'd be just a bunch of high school students who are like, hey, let's make some quick cash.
Stop.
Honestly, is if they do that, I'll be like, yo, Japan did that with something called Tomodachi game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's just recycle it. I mean, hey, one of the recycled versions that I did enjoy was the Hollywood version of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo with Daniel Craig.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
but they involved a lot of what was it, Swedish or Norwegian actors in that drone, so it stayed kind of somewhat true to the original forms. I thought they would continue on with that series in Hollywood, but they didn't.
Yeah, I mean that the Grudge, the American Grudge is pretty good. The first Ring is really good.
Yeah, and then they got greedy.
Yeah,
and then there's one-offs where it's like, this wasn't bad, and then now and again you'll get an Old Boy where it's like the American version just absolute dog shit.
So who's excited for Hollywood Squid Game?
Stop, bro. Stop.
No.
Chat, if you guys haven't seen Squid Game, I shit you not. It is one of the best series that Netflix has ever produced. I shit you not. It is amazing. Like, a lot of people see it and just, it's just like a silly death game. It's so much deeper than that. Like, way deeper than that shit. It's about humanity, the things we do to each other for money, status, the things we do based on our addictions. Like, it's really, really deep, and it's just centered around, like, the game. So, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Brilliant show.
I watched the first episode, but I'm gonna watch the rest this weekend.
Oh gosh, how did you only hold yourself to the first episode? Oh my goodness.
I had to go to work.
Finish it, bro. Finish it. We're reviewing it on the channel.
Yeah, Ray, don't haunt me. It's not my fault. Someone else spoken into the universe. I'm just,
Bro, what's his name? Shout out to LSF from Shade of Red. He told me to watch Alice in Borderland, and that one was crazy good.
I need to check that out.
Alice in Borderland, it's got some of the same premises as far as like with the games and things like that, but like the story is like it's Alice in Borderland, but it's like Alice in Wonderland, obviously through the name and stuff like that. And they play with like you collect like a deck of cards and stuff like that. It's really good. Episode 4, that episode, once you watch that one, you'll be hooked in so much, because like the other 3 episodes are really good at tying you and making you love characters, and then episode 4 is like fuck everybody. Yeah. And that's what they do for episode 4. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, bet. Oh, I do have another question posed because Ray reminded me regarding the Sherlock discussion. Y'all remember that show Elementary with Lucy Liu as Watson?
I immediately thought of that
John
when
Miller?
he said whiteify Sherlock.
All right. I didn't really vibe with John Miller as Sherlock Holmes, but I didn't mind the Lucy Liu take on Dr. Watson. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. But I fell off that show real quick.
I gave it 5 episodes. Cool. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, we somehow made it to 7 seasons.
We're talking about different Sherlock Holmes iterations. I like the Great Mouse Detective.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, are we ready for what is? I'm ready for what is.
I think that's actually the perfect transition.
Yeah. I liked it. It was good.
Yo, Almighty, thanks, man. Appreciate you being here as always, man. Really appreciate it.
What's good?
Yeah, so let's dive into the main topic of tonight's show, because like I said, we have a lot to break down. There's a lot to talk about. A lot of things we're going to be talking about with the future of What If, the future of the MCU. So let's dive into What If Ultron won. Now, for a long time, we speculated that this was going to be the case, right? That this was going to be the episode where Ultron successfully uploaded himself into Vision, and we have the true Age of Ultron. And this took Age of Ultron to another fucking level. Like, you guys already know I recommended it here on the channel before, but Age of Ultron is one of my favorite comic book storylines ever, and this took Age of Ultron and just fucking doubled down on it and just created something ridiculous that I couldn't even imagine in my wildest dreams. So I want to start off with you guys. Let me get your general thoughts on the episode, and then we'll get into spoilers.
Look, I've been saying this since the beginning of Phase 4 Loki, since I joined this channel, actually. So the beginning of Loki. Phase 4 has done a great job of retconning past mistakes. We saw it with Zemo and Falcon and Winter Soldier, because let's be real. The Zemo that they gave us earlier in Phase 3, I wasn't fucking with him. He wasn't as badass as he really is. Falcon and Winter Soldier, he showed out. They what else? Who else did they end up fixing? I forget. Oh well, it's irrelevant.
Wanda, Vision.
Here, Wanda, yes, Vision. They definitely did.
They gave more to
I'm
Bucky
actually rewatching that right now. Yes, they gave life more to Bucky. Oh, the Mandarin, of course. Even though that one is probably, you could say like, oh, they've always been planning that. That was purposeful. Whatever. I still think they made a mistake, and this was their way of trying of finally like, hey, yes, we made a mistake. We know. Let's make it right. But I always felt that they needed to correct Ultron. Ultron was done so poorly because JB, like you said, Ultron is, I mean, for me, a big Superman fan. You know what I was reminded of watching this episode? I immediately thought of Brainiac. And not in the way of like, oh, Ultron is some Brainiac ripoff. No. In the sense of Ultron did what Brainiac would do. Ultron finally, because let's be real, Ultron is as dangerous of a threat as Brainiac is to the DC universe. Marvel's Age of Ultron film did not capture that at all. They did that very poorly. But with this episode, oh, ladies and gentlemen, now you see what a true God looks like. You see what happens when a villain is done right. The fear he could strike it. At this point, yo, we've been introduced to so many dope villains. It's just like, damn, they really gave us Thanos, and it's like, could really care about you, dog. I mean, I really could care less. This episode of, I said it before we started, this episode is the second best Marvel What If episode that they've given us so far. And I say second best. I know some people are like, nah, this is the first. I say second best for this reason alone. The Doctor Strange episode was a great piece of writing. It hit every level of emotion, of action, of mystery, of suspense, of thrill. It was a perfect episode for me. Ultron comes second, and it's a very tight second. Everything else is a few steps under. I was very pleased with this Ultron episode. Your boy showed out. Your boy Ultron showed the hell out. It was beautiful.
First things first, shout out to JB, because I think you predicted it, what, episode 2 or 3? That you said that we were going to get Ultron with the perfect
3 or 4,
Ultron.
some shit like that, yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to you for, once again predicting, what I'm saying? But this episode was really, really good. I fucking loved it. Like, I love the fact that we got to see Black Widow and Hawkeye as well, just like for the main pieces of the story. Pretty much, it was like, instead of getting all these other heroes for this one, we actually got to see the two normal, just humans, and they're actually like going through things and stuff together. And it was more so, it felt like it was something that was like they were always overshadowed. They're always overshadowed over the other superheroes, and fair enough, because they don't have powers. So for us to get an episode pretty much with just focused on them two, and then Ultron, you know what I'm saying? Like I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that, like that nod to just kind of like be like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's got to get the job done, and they're working on it. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciated that, and I really enjoyed that. Overall, the action was just crazy. It was really fucking good. I loved all the little bits and pieces, and I guess we'll get to it. I'm trying not to like dive into anything, but like we'll get to like I love the bits and pieces that we got to see, even like the callbacks or whatever, because Hawkeye and Black Widow were in the same place where Captain America and Iron Man had their fight with Bucky. they were in that same building. So like that little parallel, like that nod to that was really dope. And then Ultron, just perfect Ultron, was just dope. And the way that he just took over, and he continuously just got stronger and stronger. And he just continued to find more ways, because he was like, oh yeah, they need me in this other universe to go fuck shit up. And they need me over here to go fuck some more shit up. So I thought that was really dope. And then watching the Watcher just pretty much just be at a point where he was all like, I have no choice but to interfere because this shit is going crazy. So overall, I like Abe saying Doctor Strange, you know what I'm saying? That's against the grain saying that Doctor Strange episode, but this was my favorite episode. Like this was the best one, hands down for me.
Yeah. Ray, I was going to bring that up later on in the episode, but yeah, it seems, and Abe brought this up earlier on in the What If episodes too, that Tony's death is an absolute point. It's an absolute point. It's crazy to think about. Someone like Tony, his death is an absolute point. No matter what happens, what universe,
he's always
Tony
meant to die.
is going to die. That is so sad, bro. It's so sad.
Crazy.
Hey, but he did what he needed to do. All right, it's good. We can move on. We appreciate him. I don't mind his deaths. He at least he died every time he's died. Aside from the Hank Pym episode, it's been for justice. It's been for the greater good, you know. So he ain't go outside.
Yeah, but it's still pretty sad to watch Tony die so many times. But general thoughts for me: love, like you said, Steve. Love that this was a Hawkeye, Black Widow centric episode, as well as Ultron. I think they all had amazing moments. This episode was the best episode of What If so far for me, because I'm an Ultron fanboy. Like when it comes to Marvel villains, Doom, Ultron, like that's what it is for me. I love Ultron with everything. So I also love.
Who's number one again for you?
Doom.
So where Vader working all this? Where's Vader?
That's right. He is Marvel. Shit. So he would have to be number
Star
2.
Wars. Look, you guys. Look. I'm not playing with y'all. Star Wars is part of the MCU. They just haven't brought him in yet. Don't worry.
So as far as Star Wars being a part of the MCU, there's something that happens in this episode, and we'll get into it. That's kind of like a Star Wars reference. Nigga. Okay. So, but yeah, I thought the pacing was incredible.
You
the
think
sound
I'm just
mix.
drinking this for my health? Oh my goodness.
I thought the sound mix was incredible. The animation in this episode was the best animation of the whole fucking series for me so far. And like the Watcher, I love every scene that I can get with the Watcher. So this episode is absolutely jam-packed. Like I said, the pacing, it goes so fast, but it's so packed in with amazing monologues from the Watcher, from Ultron. So let's just dive into it. Let's just dive into this incredible episode. We start off the episode with the Watcher giving us some backstory into this one story of this universe truly broke his heart, right? And it's the story of the Age of Ultron, where Ultron successfully transferred its consciousness into Vision and used the Mind Stone to eradicate all life on Earth. And this was a lot closer to the comics, where Ultron used nukes to essentially kill most of the people on the planet. And then he used him and his Ultron sentries to go around killing anyone that was left. So I always, and another thing that I liked about Ultron is that it felt so Terminator to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's so fucking good, man. So like I said, we start off with Natasha and Clint in Russia, and I love that Clint has like this metal arm. It just shows like how much shit that he's been through, and he has this really cool like cloak of invisibility, which is pretty dope. So I'm assuming they made that cloak out of like the cloaking technology from like one of the helicarriers, maybe. What did you guys think of the opening, and what do you think?
No. They hollered at our boys over at Harry Potter, got themselves the cloak, and they said, all right, we about to return to our universe. You dig? That's what happened.
I remember a situation where Scarlett Johansson was disguised as someone else, and she like pulls off this like cloaked mask, and I'm assuming that they just made it big into a huge cloak for him. That's the only thing that I can think of that we've seen in Marvel so far, unless they're they're hinting at something coming in the future. But that's the only thing that I think that we've seen in Marvel so far that would say that that's what that is, that technology is.
I don't know.
Because I can't remember. I want to say it's in the first Avengers or in the second Avengers or whatever. She's disguised as someone else, and then she pulls off like this, like it looks like a
doesn't
claw.
she do that she does it in Winter Soldier, and
Soldier.
And then she does it again in the Black Widow movie.
Okay, so then so I assume that that's what it is.
Yeah, but it just makes you look like someone else. You think there's a way to like tweak the technology to make you invisible?
I think so. Yeah. I guess I didn't think about it like it's just.
I mean, it's not impossible.
Because when she pulls it off, the face of whoever it wasn't still on it. She just threw it down and it was invisible. So I'm assuming that it's invisible, and they just made a big blanket version of it to make it look like a cloak.
Like I said, it's not impossible because you have to imagine that technology had to force itself forward in order to try to stop Ultron, right? Mm-hmm. So who knows what they had to figure out in order to stay alive.
And is his arm, is it a vibranium arm like
I doubt it.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, is it
I don't
like
know if they hooked them up like that?
Because I mean, we don't know how the timeline works in this universe, but it's technically 2015 in the Age of Ultron timeline, so they haven't met anyone in Wakanda yet.
Mm-hmm. That's facts. They haven't done that yet. Well, technically, Age of Ultron is when we first get introduced to vibranium.
True.
So there is a possibility.
True.
Are we gonna give it to him? No, because I mean, when did he go to Wakanda? When, like, if you're gonna go visit Wakanda, get the arm, you might as well show us. You feel me? Let's see more Wakanda. Let's see more T'Challa, all them. I want to see General Ramonda again.
Yeah. But besides that, like, what did you guys think about the fight between Hawkeye, Black Widow, and the Ultron Sentries? Because I thought that was dope. Like, this episode really showed you like how good of an archer Hawkeye is.
Yeah. So throughout the Marvel movies, the MCU, I've enjoyed Black Widow more than I've enjoyed Hawkeye. But in this What If run, Hawkeye has been stealing the show for me. Like the 3 times that we've seen Hawkeye, I've been like, yo, this dude, I'm really, really enjoying it. Ever since we've seen him as Ronin in the last Avengers movie, in Endgame. Ever since then, like, it's been like I've been leaning more towards like Hawkeye being the better character now. And like that fight when he was just shooting, and he was shooting like three arrows at a time and things like that. And even in the last kill shot where he shot through the head, and then you could see through the head and you could see him staring, I was like, yo, that shit is dope. Like I was really, really enjoying Hawkeye. And like most of the time in series and things like that, archers are kind of like some of the doper characters, because like even in
Legolas,
you knew exactly.
Legolas showed out. Orlando Bloom was that nigga.
Yeah, you knew exactly where I was going with that then, because I was all like, in Lord of the Rings, he was killing. I was like, yo, that shit was dope. So like, I really am enjoying like the love that they're showing to Hawkeye. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, they're giving him more shine ever since Endgame, because before then he was doing his archery stuff, but it was more so like he's just an archer, he's just another character. And I was
with like trick arrows and shit. It's like, yeah, this is cool, but you know.
Yeah. And like
I'm excited for the Hawkeye show. I feel like we'll finally get some more, like, obviously we'll get more attention on Hawkeye, and it'll remind people why Steve was saying what he was saying. Like, yo, Hawkeye is an actually interesting character when he gets enough attention on him, which of course he hasn't been getting. Because who wants attention on an archer when you got the Hulk, you got a freaking god, you have Iron Man,
Captain
you have
Marvel,
Black Panther, you have Captain Marvel, you have Captain America. It's just like, he's very low on the totem pole. That's why I'm excited for this Hawkeye show.
That's another reason why I love this episode too, because they've been overshadowed the entire MCU run, and now, you know what I'm saying, we saw when Tony Stark's like, you don't have to do this. We see all these dead bodies. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, oh, okay, so they're gone. So now we have no choice but to focus on Black Widow and Hawkeye. So it was very dope to see that.
And who knows, now earlier, because of ScarJo and Disney at least coming to terms, we can get a Black sometime in the future now. Maybe she shows up at the end of Hawkeye. I'm not saying that she will. She definitely won't because they've already determined that. But hey, her future in the MCU isn't entirely dead like we thought it would be.
You can get flashbacks, or you can get the alternate universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, maybe season 2 of What If she's voicing Natasha again. Who knows?
I would love a flashback sequence. It could be super short, but a flashback sequence in Hawkeye of them two. I think that would be dope.
Yeah.
I think that'll be really good, especially with Yelena on his tail. I think that would be really interesting. So the Watcher, after this moment, talks about everything that Ultron did after transferring his consciousness into the Vision. We watch Ultron. Well, we don't see it, but we see that Ultron has pretty much killed most of the Avengers. And the best part of this is that all of this is from Tony's dream from Age of Ultron, the nightmare sequence that Wanda put into his brain. So we see Cap's shield broken in half. We see him dead, Thor lying on the floor, Hulk laying on the floor, and then he kills Tony, right? So I thought that was really, really interesting that in this universe, Tony's vision came true. Now, that makes Age of Ultron slightly more interesting because it's like, well, did Wanda show Tony the future of another universe? Because that's entirely possible when you look at it, right? This What If episode could confirm, there's nothing to back this up, but it could confirm that potentially Scarlet Witch showed Tony a possible future of a different universe. What do you guys think about that?
That would be crazy. And then it would be like, if Scarlett Witch is in this universe, is she showing, when she showed Tony Stark the thing, did she show him a different universe's future? Because that would be dope. Like, what if in this what if situation, she showed Tony Stark him snapping his finger on Thanos and dying? That would, like, what I'm saying, like a parallel universe thing. That would be really dope to see that. But then that would be if that was something that she did, then the multiverse had already been confirmed that they were going to go that way and things like that. So that would be really dope if that was what she was doing, showing them another multiverse is alternate future or whatever.
Definitely feel that. Look, y'all, I just gotta say something real quick, right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you aren't enjoying the MCU right now, if you aren't enjoying Phase 4, please put your phone down, close your laptop, turn off your TV. No matter what time of day it is, just step outside wherever you live, find the nearest piece of grass, and touch it for me. Just touch it for me. Then once you do that, I want you to come back in, sit down, reevaluate your life, and look at what Phase 4 has given us, and tell me, not me personally, because I don't want to hear your voice, but tell us why you believe that Phase 4 isn't hitting. I'm really annoyed with hearing that, Phase 4 is lagging, don't really got pop. What pop are you looking for?
They want it to be on the same level as Infinity War and Endgame. They want it to be the same level of action.
But those were conclusions.
Exactly.
Conclusions.
Exactly.
So we are starting a whole new phase. Look, if they gave us Infinity War and Endgame to start like the MCU universe, I'd have been like, yo, that's lit. And then everything else afterwards would have been like, wait, dang, like, now I realize that it was cool at the time, but there wasn't any lead up to it. There wasn't no storyline. There was no plot. I couldn't get invested in characters. Like, I could give a damn about Tony Stark snapping his finger and dying. Like, who cares? Spider-Man's upset. Who cares? Spider-Man died. Oh, wow.
They won't be happy with anything because it's like they want it to be like the animated TV shows where it's like villain of the week, bunch of action, little story. But then you would complain that it's just villain of the week and no story. So it's like, what do you want?
They want their own story. That's what they want. They want to write their own fan fiction Marvel universe, and they expect it to be just as good as this, apparently. Like I don't get. The thing is, like, you can have theories, you can have thoughts on what you think is going to happen or what you would like to happen, but when it doesn't happen, that doesn't mean it's trash. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that someone else is writing the story, not you, because they have different ways. Because the thing is that when people want those things, what happens after that? You want this crazy thing to happen where people die and stuff like that. Okay, now write the rest of the story because now that character's dead. You see what I'm saying? But these actual people that are writing the stories has a plan in place of how the direction of what they're going with. So I always just take that with a, you know what I'm saying, a can of paint. Like it's like grain of salt. It's like whatever. Like you're gonna complain just to complain because it's the internet and you feel like I have 140 characters and if I complain enough, I can go viral and people will agree with me and it's stupid.
Now, the people that think the entire MCU's mid and the only thing that's good is like Infinity War, I want to talk to those people because if you think the MCU's mid, then what do you actually think is good? Because that's what I want to know. But anyways, back to
hold on, wait, real quick. I gotta get this take. I gotta say some things. If you think the MCU is mid, and this is a DC fanboy over here, what is the DCEU to you then? Like, if it's not absolutely, if MCU is mid, DCEU cannot be trash because trash is too good for it. So
yeah.
So I know at the minimum it's not under trash. It's decent. So as automatic that makes the MCU like wonderful, stellar, great. For those who maybe you don't just don't like comic book movies. If you don't, just say that. Just say that and move on. Leave us alone.
That I can respect, but to say that they're all mid, what? Like,
I mean, if you're talking about if you only seen the Thor franchise, then yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, nah. Then I'm sorry, whoever introduced you to the MCU via Thor, effed up. All right, there is better than Thor franchise, better than all three films. I'm telling you, but there's stuff better than all three films.
Ragnarok's really good. Anyways,
I enjoy Ragnarok too.
I know Abe's not the biggest.
Go ahead and snap your fingers and take Thor 3 out of everyone's memory.
If anything, Thor 2. Leave Thor 3 alone. Let it live.
Thor 2. I just thought it was one of those, foreign things where they just go Thor 1, and then they were like, all right, we're just gonna go to Thor 3. And then that was it. There was a 2. I had no idea. You see, the snap already worked apparently.
But I love this next sequence. So Thanos gets the nuclear codes after he kills the Avengers, launches all the nukes. We get this really cool shot of Thunderbolt Ross looking absolutely devastated, as you should, because the nukes have successfully ended most of life, like 98% of all life. And Ultron says, peace, and instantly Thanos shows up, right? Ultron sees the gauntlet. It's like, oh, interesting. Fucking cuts Thanos in half, bro. It was such a quick decision, right? And Steve, we were talking about this before, but it's like the reason why I'm okay with it is because there is no way that Thanos computes information anywhere near as fast as Vision. So he was just quicker on the draw, right? Saw an opportunity, cut him in half, and just took the fucking stones. Absolutely loved it. So what did you guys think about that scene? Like, I'm gonna pull up the image right now of Thanos cut in half, bro. Like, this was dope watching this happen.
When it happened, like the first time, I was like, holy shit. Like, because I really thought we were gonna get a fight, and I thought that was gonna be really dope, like to see like even if it's only like a 10 to 15 second fight and he's like wrecks Thanos, I was like, oh shit, we're about to get a fight. And then when it happened, I was like, holy shit. Like that, I immediately sat up because I was eating like fucking lasagna in the bed, and I was laid back, and then when it happened, I sat up. I was like, shit, what the fuck? I was like, but when we talked about it earlier, I was thinking like, I didn't think that he would kill Thanos so quickly. So, and JB and Abe explained, it was like, it was so quick on the draw, and it was like spare the moment. that it happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, yo, he had freaking 5 of the Infinity Stones. I thought that it would be a much more, what I'm saying, a different battle, much more difficult battle. Because it was, mid difficulty at least. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was no diff. Like it was like
quicker on the draw, bro.
It was like, yeah, I need that from you. And he got it. It's like it makes you think of those times where somebody gets robbed and they're like, I need that. And they shoot you instead of just like, hey, I could have gave it to you. I could have handed it to you. That's what it felt like. It was just like, hey, I need that. And he just killed him. So
look, man. First of all, I just want to say shout out to Spicy Lady Gaming. She is streaming us live on her Twitch channel right now. Shout out to the little sis, for real. Y'all make sure y'all go follow her on Twitch, for real. I know she just said that she hates me. She's been saying that multiple times throughout her stream, but it's okay, Spicy. I love you. Okay, go ahead and follow Spicy Lady Gaming on Twitch. That being said, look. People complain that, oh, damn it, Ultron got Thanos up out of here. Thanos is not even the biggest threat, not even top 10 biggest threat of the of the Marvel universe at all, right? Second of all, Ultron is a fucking machine. What do you expect him to be like, you know what, let me pause and hear this man out. Let me give him a chance to talk. No! After he took out a whole fucking world, you think he's just gonna be like, yo, boy, who this guy? Yo, what's good, fella? Hey, what that stones do?
If you want to be real, I mean, we've seen enough movies where everybody does it. So yeah, I kind of did it.
And that's the problem. What did I say at the beginning? Phase 4 has involved a lot of retconning of characters, and they've retconned Ultron very well. At this point in Ultron,
see, it's not even a retcon because it's a different universe. You know, they're not changing what happened in the same universe. You know,
no, they're basically saying like, yo, we messed up, but we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. That's just what a terrible Ultron does in one universe. We're gonna show you what a real Ultron does. Ultron saw that thing and was like, that chain looks nice,
right? Give me your shit.
Straight Debo that nigga. Come on now. Straight Debo them. And then what did he do? Someone mentioned in the chat, I forgot who it was. It might have been you, JB. I don't know. But what he did with the making his army just vast everywhere, just red. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was dope. Like instantly watching him use the reality stone.
He just understood how to use them. Immediately understood how to use the abilities. It was like, all right, it's time to work, baby. It's time to work.
Yeah, this is another one of my favorite images of like Ultron when he first gets all the stones, and like you said, he's waving his hand over the creating all of the Ultron bots again, and then he creates this really dope fucking ship, right? And we were talking about it off air that it looks so much like a Brainiac type ship. I love it. You can see all of the Ultron bots like flying into it as he leaves Earth, and then heads straight for Asgard, bro, which was the smartest decision ever. Because, I mean, who's your biggest threat in the universe right now? Odin. So what does he do? He shows up to Asgard, uses the Power Stone, and fucking blows it up in one shot. Like, I did not think he would be wiping out all of these different places so easy, but...
I mean, it's Brainiac with the Infinity Stones. That's like Brainiac with the anti-life equation. It just, yo.
Ray's like real Unicron shit. I know, right?
like this is what we wanted. Oh yeah, my flag keeps falling because I'm too excited. Hold on now. Let me readjust. Okay. Continue. Okay.
Like, this is crazy. He destroys Asgard, destroys the Sovereign and the Guardians of the Galaxy, destroys Sakaar and the Grandmaster, destroys Ego, who is a Celestial, by the way. So that was just an extra layer of just showing you how powerful he is right now, that he was able to wipe out a Celestial like he was fucking nothing.
The Celestials are so funny to me because low-key, like, you have some dope-ass characters just be like, let me just take you out so I can really show people exactly my power. Doom, Yonder, Ultron. You just have Thanos at one point did it. It's just like, damn, Celestials, y'all niggas ain't shit, huh? Y'all just there to be there, huh? Y'all just like to show up and stand there looking all cool, and then folks just wipe you out with as if nothing. Y'all pathetic. Can't wait to see y'all in November though.
And then he goes to Xandar. Now, when he gets blasted the first time, I was like, was that Nova? For like 2 seconds. Even though,
that's what I was. Oh my god, I got so excited.
Right? Even though it doesn't make sense because they haven't introduced Nova and they haven't shown us any characters that we haven't seen before. But for like 2 seconds, I was like, was that Nova? And then we find out that it's Captain Marvel. And then we see how easily Ultron fucking murks Captain Marvel. She grabs him, takes him through the planet to the core, and he just murks Captain Marvel. And then like 6 to 7 planets instantly. So I want to know which one of these planet destructions was like the most devastating to you. Like which one hit you the hardest?
None of them, because I enjoyed all of them.
Same.
I was about to say it was definitely like how Abe was saying it was the parallel thing. It was like it was a different way of saying it, showing the strength though. It was like, so with Doctor Strange, it was like he was absorbing all of these super powerful beings and things like that. Whereas Ultron was like, I'm just going to destroy all of these powerful beings. And so like, I don't know if I did see it coming, but I kind of saw it coming with the Doctor Strange at the end where he was like, I need your help. Because I was just like, oh, this is pretty much the exact, it's like the polar opposite. It was like Doctor Strange is absorbing every single person, every strong, powerful, most, deity that he could find. He was finding them, he was absorbing them. And then Ultron was like, all right, I'm going to kill every fucking body. And it was like, yo, he's going over here, he's wiping out this person, that person. When he blew up Ego, I was like, yo, I was like, this is different. And I was like, the Eternals, on the other hand, they're just like, well, it's not a deity, so.
Shit, it ain't none of my business. It ain't none of my business. I'm here sipping my tea, boy.
No deity, no problem. So they just let shit go. And it was just like, just watching it from that perspective. From me trying to, I don't know why I do this all the time, but I'm always trying to figure shit out before it happens.
I mean, so I do too.
Like, oh, yeah, I think we're going to see Doctor Strange at the end of this because it was clearly like a parallel of like strength or whatever.
Yeah, Ray's like, it was literally a drive-by planet shooting. Yeah. No. Seriously though, he just pulled up Asgard, the Sovereign, Sakaar, Eagle, Xandar.
Like bam, bam, bam. I was like, oh, he's wiping these shits out quick.
Like, yo, honestly, like, hey, I know people are like, yo, Thanos, when Thanos put up the planets and it was kind of cold because he's like, hey, I'm only 50% of you gonna live, 50% of you gonna die. Nah, kill all that. You really want to bring ultimate peace? You do what Ultron did. Just take him out.
So, on the topic of that, so we know that Thanos had the Power Stone. We know that the Power Stone was on Xandar, but Xandar didn't look destroyed in any way. I mean, there wasn't really a way for us to know if Thanos wiped out half of the people on Xandar because we know he did that in the main MCU timeline. So do you think he did? Do you think he wiped out half of the people on Xandar and then left the rest?
Here's my thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they use this version of Thanos to represent his more comic book version, which is like, yo, I am in love with death. I'm not doing this because I believe in balance. I'm doing this because I want to pursue death. At the same time, it's also possible that they didn't really address it because it's like, look, guys, y'all know what it is. We'll just assume. We're not going to waste time showing you that. That's another possibility. Like, just assume, because it's what we presented to you earlier in What If season with him saying like, hey, it still sounds like genocide, but it's efficient. It's efficient, huh? Is it not efficient? Okay. But honestly, look, what happened in this episode, and I'm sorry to jump the gun a little bit, JB, but it was Uatu's discussion, that his soliloquy, his monologue, that he had while he watched everything. And Ultron's like, he had that Doctor Strange moment. Who's there? Who spoke?
Yeah.
What happened? And I know Rob J has mentioned, like, yo, do we think we're going to see somebody else, you know, be able to interact? And what I said was only if it's to do what he needs to do, because we kind of knew the Ultron episode was coming, so we knew that we were going to get a team up to recruit.
Right.
And I said the only other reason someone would be able to talk to him is if they did what Strange did. I was not thinking that Ultron getting the Infinity Stones would be capable, because I'm like, oh, he would hit some God level shit. Not even some God level shit, some like universal stuff. Like he is a universal being at this point. And then he's like, who that nigga talking in my ear?
Let me pull that up real quick, because I love this shot of Ultron just like, who the fuck? Where's this voice coming from? Like,
who that be? Who from the block talking right now?
Like, he kept talking like he didn't hear him say, who is that talking? He was like, let me keep narrating this story because he can't be talking about me.
That whole sequence, like he's Uatu's talking, and then the camera is zooming in, but yet you still see Ultron's face in frame, even though it's moving off to the side. But I was like, oh, he hears him. I was like, oh yeah, he hears him for sure. Then he's like, who is that? And like you said, Uatu's just like, yeah, guys, so I'm still gonna narrate my story. You know, ain't nobody, because I'm the Watcher, like, baby. I'm the fucking Watcher.
This is the thing, right? This is the Watcher's fault. If the Watcher wasn't peeking in on Ultron in that moment, Ultron would have never known that there was a multiverse. Because as we go on, right? Ultron thought there was just life on Earth. He killed everyone. He was like, finally, peace. Then Thanos shows up. He gets the rest of the stones. Oh no, there's trillions of life out there that needs my help. They're suffering. They need to be saved by me. So he finds that out. And then, because of the Watcher, he learns that there's a multiverse. Multiple universes suffering that need to be silenced. Bro, the monologues, right?
What was hilarious about it was, have you ever seen that episode of the Chappelle Show when Ice-T's up there at the haters ball? He's like, next person talking when I'm talking getting shot. That's what it was like. He was like, who the fuck is talking while I'm talking? Like, that's kind of what Ultron felt. So,
and he was on his Liam Neeson shit. He's like, I will find you.
Right.
I will find you.
And I'll kill you.
And I will follow you. It doesn't matter where you run, where you hide, whether you interfere, whether you don't. I am absolute. I am inevitable. I was like, ooh, Ultron. Okay, Zaddy. Okay, Zaddy. Tell him how it is, baby. How it is.
Before we go on,
whooping that boy's ass too.
Before we go any further, I did have another question about the Infinity Stones. So, we know that you have to sacrifice someone you love in order to get the Soul Stone, right? We know that Ultron killed Gamora before Thanos got to the Soul Stone, right? So who did he sacrifice? So could it be that potentially in this universe his favorite daughter was Nebula and he sacrificed Nebula? What do you guys think?
Possibly.
Chat, and I want you guys to chime in on this too.
Possibly, although I you know what? I will give it to Nebula. The reason being is that surprisingly, we haven't gotten any mention of Gamora. Like, we haven't gotten any cameo, glimpse. We've seen Nebula at least twice so far.
I mean, we saw Gamora in this episode.
Oh, well, we did. Yeah, you're right. But otherwise, it's just been constant Nebula, and she's got the most interaction, whether we saw her in the T'Challa Star-Lord episode or in the Thor Party 1 episode. We've constantly been seeing Nebula. So I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up being Nebula who was sacrificed. I really wouldn't. Like, go ahead, sacrifice. What is it truly worth it, Thanos, if you don't sacrifice the one you love? Is it truly worth it?
Or maybe in this multiverse, the rules don't apply. You never know.
I doubt that. Yeah.
I'll be mad as hell.
I would be perfectly fine with them just saying in this universe, Nebula was his favorite daughter. Because, I mean, he has a bunch of kids. Maybe maybe he was closer to one of the Black Order, right? And he sacrificed one of them.
He kills one of the dudes, or he kills the entire He sacrificed the entire Black Order. Because nobody from the Black Order showed up.
They were tools. Oh, but that is true. That is true. None of them
I'm about to say nobody else from the Black Order shows up. Yeah, when he meets Ultron, he's there solo.
Yeah.
So maybe he sacrificed the entire Black Order. Maybe it wasn't necessarily the people of the Black Order, but the idea of the Black Order was something that he loved so much. So he had to sacrifice the entire
let me kill them niggas. I won't bring them back. I promise. Give me the Soul Stone. Man, can we talk about the dimensional multi-universal punches Ultron was given Uatu?
Wait, but we have to talk about Natasha and Clint at the Russian base.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, shout out to the can I say this? I don't know. I don't want the FBI coming at me. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say it. Never mind. Or no, it would be the CIA and the FBI possibly. You know what? I'll leave it alone. Go ahead.
But yeah, we get Natasha and Clint at this Russian base. Natasha finds the Red Guardian shield. I thought that was really, really dope. And she's sick using the shield in the rest of the episode. I can't wait to talk about that shit. But you can see Uatu constantly like contemplating intervening. Hawkeye, he has the folder. He's right next to the one folder that he needs. And he just kind of gives up because, I mean, he instantly lost everything during the nukes, right? He lost his wife, he lost his 2 kids, his friends, his extended family. They're all gone, right? So he barely sees the will to live, but he's willing to fight because he has his best friend, Natasha, at his side, right? So we see Uatu tempted to intervene, but Natasha finds the file. And I thought this was so fucking cool that they thought, you know what? How do we beat this essentially a god tier AI? Arnim Zola. It's because of him that Hydra was able to get into S.H.I.E.L.D. and rule it for 70 years, right after the fall of Hydra in the 40s. So it is absolute genius to think of using Zola to hack Ultron in order to try and stop him. So what did you guys think about that plan?
Hey, welcome back, Zola. Welcome back. You know, it's good to see that, hey, you still exist and you still do what you do. I thought it was a great idea because how else do you take out such a really strong AI? You go old school and bring someone else who's on a human level just as intelligent, but because he uploaded his consciousness to technology, to the interwebs, becomes that much more, intelligent, especially with him being just as diabolical. I mean, it was very funny when he said, "Oh, I used to work with I know how to take down a megalomaniac. I used to work with one." I was like, "Oh yeah, his name is Hitler." Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I know." And then of course, let's go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you have experience. But I thought it was very cool because it reminded us that Zola exists and Zola will always exist. Even in the apocalyptic, as long as there's technology and power, he will exist and you could use him. So I can't wait to see him more in MCU because I feel like we'll definitely see more of him. They're just fun storylines, especially when you think about show, have him as an antagonist for a show, a limited series. That'd be dope. So the plan was smart, definitely intelligent. Personally, I didn't think it would work because for the main part, we knew that we were going to get the Guardians of the Multiverse. So this plan wasn't supposed to work regardless. But I thought it was a smart attempt. Why not?
I enjoyed it. I thought, like how you said, that there's a bigger picture where we're going to get the Guardians of the Multiverse. But I think that this is a 2-part finale.
So it is.
Mm-hmm. So this is part 1. So I believe that we're going to hold on to Zola and that's something that they're going to use in the overall grand scheme of things because there's no reason to bring him up just for it to not work. You know what I'm saying? And then they just wash it. So I'm assuming that we'll get the Doctor Strange. You hold off Ultron, or you fight with Ultron, and we'll figure out a plan around that. So that's what I'm thinking that we'll get. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hacking part, the thinking that you're gonna get a hack in this thing, but I just don't see it working though. As as intelligent, as powerful as Ultron has been or has shown, I don't see it necessarily working. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't see it working. It's gonna have to be Doctor Strange finish him off.
It'll be an interesting team up, right? Because when we look at who they're picking for the Guardians of the Multiverse, we have Party Thor, we have Gamora, the Mad Titan, whatever they're gonna call her, Captain Carter, Black Widow, Doctor Strange Supreme. Who else am I missing?
Captain Carter.
Yeah, Captain Carter. I think that's all we know of for now.
Star-Lord.
Yeah, Star-Lord T'Challa.
Star-Lord T'Challa, yeah. I forgot about him. Yeah, so we're gonna get those for sure. So it would be really interesting to see how they can take all of their physical abilities and Zola's tech and put it all together. Because what if they get Zola to cut off the Ultron bots from Ultron and try to turn them against him and find a way to like hack into Ultron long enough to like maybe stop him from using the stones so that Doctor Strange can kill him, or Doctor Strange can take the stones from him, because realistically he's the only one powerful enough to withstand the power of the stones.
So what you're saying is that we're going to get another we're going to get another Endgame scenario, except with different cast members, huh?
Potentially.
Because this is honestly looking like Infinity War and Endgame all over again, just in a very condensed version.
Yeah,
which I don't mind.
Have you guys seen like another version of Captain Marvel coming into this? Because I mean, they did introduce one when Nick Fury went after Steve, right? Like that's a completely different Captain Marvel. So do you think they'll get another Captain Marvel? Because I mean,
there's a different Captain Marvel, in my opinion, in the Thor episode that we just saw.
I think that's right. Yeah, so we've seen 3 different ones.
Because I feel like the Watcher is more so like how Kang was. How Kang said, I can see the past, the future, and the present all at one time. I'm watching it at one time. Because at the end of episode 7, when Ultron pulls up, he goes, uh-oh. But in this episode, he's like a whole fresh start to, you know what I'm saying, with Ultron. So I feel like that's a whole different universe, and he's watching it at one time. So the uh-oh is completely different than this episode.
And what makes that even more interesting is the fact that technically the end of episode 7 takes place after episode 8. Because it's not until midway through 8 that Ultron even realizes that the multiverse exists. And in 7, he goes into Party Thor's universe. So that's going to be even more interesting how they're kind of fucking around with like time and stuff. So that'll be really cool.
Yeah, I think for me, we don't necessarily need Captain Marvel for this reason. Doctor Strange, the version that we're getting, has absorbed basically all the powers of, as far as we know, his universe, but very possible of different multiverses. You know, we don't know exactly if that portal opened up just to one universe, the summoning circle. But and the fact that he was able to prevent his own eradication by basically putting himself into a prison within a sea of nothingness. His universe is gone. He's put himself into a prison, managed to sustain himself. That already is a very powerful figure, especially since he was able to identify, and converse with the Watcher without the Watcher's consent. And when Ultron did it too, and what did Ultron say to Uatu? Beings like us, the rules don't apply. Because that's also something else that we're definitely going to discuss, is that the rules of the Infinity Stones, they're not supposed to work outside of their respective universes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that was first told to us in the Marvel DC crossover when Darkseid did it. And of course it's like, oh, that's not canon, but then they followed up with it continuously throughout the comics. They did it throughout the MCU too. They did it in Loki. And then, but here's the thing, remember one thing. Thanos snapped his fingers, the second snap, to make the Infinity Stones useless. But here in What If, we see that, the Infinity Stone works regardless. So, is this the MCU basically going to tell us, like, we're not necessarily reversing it, but certain beings are strong enough to make the Infinity Stones a threat again, one that we can possibly see later. Especially since I know with Thanos doing what he did, there's possibility that the energies, because hey, conservation no matter, right? The energies went out into space to find new hosts. We know that in the comics, Adam Warlock himself was a vessel of, was it the Soul Stone? Or the Soul Stone or the Mind Stone? I forget which one.
The Soul Stone.
The Soul Stone. What if that's what happened? You know? Because
it's interesting.
I'm just really surprised by them saying like, hey guys, yeah. Because when I saw that, I was like, yo, how are we going to get this? If it gets Infinity Stones, this don't make sense because they're not supposed to work outside of your universe. Darkseid already proved that when he whooped Thanos' ass, all right? We've seen it multiple times. Don't tell me that, oh yeah, all of a sudden Thanos now has a chance to beat Darkseid. Don't do that. But then like, hey, maybe you need a superior intelligence, you know? Or maybe that one of the snaps reversed the rules.
Maybe they aren't as strong across universes for this particular episode.
Potentially.
Because he never used any of the powers of the stones. He just shot beams from. You know what I'm saying? When he was fighting Uatu, he kind of just shot beams. He didn't actually use, you know what I'm saying, the Power Stones powers or the Reality Stones power. He didn't make multiple. So maybe they're weakened in a state.
So Vin,
he's not strong enough to break out though without the use of the stones. He needs the stones to be able to break out of his own universe and to, especially to be in the, I'm gonna call it the in between,
right? And
then to enter other universes. Like he said, he always evolves. I don't see him being like these. If he evolves and these stones don't really, they're weak or whatnot, they don't really work, he drop them. But I think without the stones, of course, he's not able to. So the stones are strong. So what we know so far about the stones, hopefully next week it explains it a bit further. But I think the rules no longer apply, which is a whole game changer in itself.
So there's a couple different ways that this could go, right? Because like what Ray is saying, right? Like Ultron Vision was given life from the Mind Stone, and then he assimilated the other stones, right? And then Vin is also saying, so Vin, like, I get, like, in between the universes, but, like, they were in other universes, too, like, in whole other, like they were on, like, an ice planet, like a lava planet, so they were within actual universes, and it worked. So much like what Abe was saying, could it be possible that Ultron used the power of the stones to ensure that they would work in other universes? Like, how hard would it really be to change how the stones work to make sure that they can take energy from each universe? Like, they don't need to explain it because, I mean, Ultron is so incredibly intelligent, but it's very possible. He could have changed how the stones work, right? Because, I mean, when you use all 6 all at once, you can pretty much do anything. You can bend reality. So why not change it so that the stones work wherever you want them to? You know, it's possible.
That's what I'm thinking, because in that case, Thanos' second snap maybe it had more wide-reaching consequences for it, which explains Loki when it's like, oh yeah, you know, they don't work because some dude snapped it and it kind of affected all the energies in all multiverses. And now, you know, when you have it again in this multiverse, because the events take place before another multiverse's timeline, and now that the multiverse itself is restored, what if Ultron is able to kind of like reverse and prevent that?
Potentially, man. Yeah, that's a really interesting theory. Like, I would love to talk about, like, especially when we get to the finale, like, just exactly how the stones work, like, outside of its initial universe. Because, again, like we talked about, like, Loki made it pretty clear that outside of your universe, they're paperweights, right? But hopefully we get some more information on that. Let's cut to Siberia real quick. Love this Siberia sequence. We get into the same silo, like Steve mentioned. This is all taking place where Captain America Civil War took place at the end. Now, once they get in there, we notice that the Winter Soldiers are not in the pods. So it's like, do you think that they were potentially set free in to try to stop Ultron? Like, where are they?
Like anything.
Like,
At
what do you
that
guys
point,
think?
they're just trying anything. They're just like, all right, just somebody go save us. It doesn't matter. Like, even if you are villains, like this world will blow up, so you'll die. Go. Like they just send anybody out there to go do it. And from what it looks like, I mean, I think we would still see the Winter Soldier. I mean, the soldiers to fighting if they were still alive, and we didn't. So I'm assuming that they're gone too.
Oh yeah. What do you think, Gabe?
Repeat the question for me because I got distracted for a moment.
Oh, no problem. So you remember in Civil War, Zemo killed the Winter Soldiers that were in like those glass pods. So they were empty in this episode. So do you think like they let him out to like try to stop Ultron? Because I mean he's a global threat, right? So I mean you would take all the weapons that you got, right?
Yeah, because technically Zemo's since they're paralleling the MCU main timeline, Zemo doesn't go on his quest to destroy until after the events of Ultron. So I can see it in this case. Zemo didn't get to do what he did, so of course they were reawakened to be like, yo, maybe you guys could do something because you guys are strong enough, you guys can withstand the pain and all the human errors that make regular soldiers. And look, at this point, it's all hands on deck. So I sincerely believe that they activated the super soldiers and enlisted them to try to stop Ultron, but of course it wasn't enough against. I'm just gonna call him Brainiac from now on. Just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
But I love this Siberia sequence because again, it just really shows off the skill of Black Widow and Hawkeye. I love this sequence. So before that, they took all of Zola's data, put it into one of Hawkeye's like flash drive arrows, I guess, where he uploaded his consciousness to it. And the plan is to shoot one of the Ultron bots so that he has a connection to the Ultron hive. So we're in the silo. Natasha calls Avengers Tower to order a pizza to get the Ultron bot's attention. I thought that was fucking hilarious. And it was great to see her using the shield. Like, she uses it so naturally. I thought that was fucking dope. Clint gets to use like this electrified like fence thing, and like he gets to use so many amazing like trick arrows. So I want to know like what were some of your favorite moments from that Siberia sequence before Natasha gets out?
I didn't really have any outstanding ones just because I was just like, look guys, I need you to show me more Ultron and the Watcher and whatnot. I don't really care about your human puny lives. What are you to a god that is now Infinity Stone, perfect Ultron vision? That being said, though, shout out to Hawkeye and Black Widow for fighting the good fight and out of all heroes managing to survive and make it this far. They really were close to dying multiple times. I mean, it was really surprising that they were able to withstand it this long. But I thought it was very funny that once they uploaded Zola into an Ultron Sentry, for them to then shoot out his legs. And I'm like,
to be like, just in case you get any fucking idea.
I'm like, damn. Like they said, and then you had Scarlet Witch. I mean, not Scarlet Witch. I meant to say ScarJo, but I'm sorry, not ScarJo. But Black Widow.
That's been a fucking movie all day too. Scarlet Witch, Scarlett Johansson. It's been
ScarJo is then like carrying Ultron, Zola Ultron, and jumping up, climbing up like a goddamn spider monkey. I was like, she got powers, huh? I'm like, she moving with speed and some strength I didn't know she have. Like, she carrying a whole machine, even if he ain't got no legs, if he's Lieutenant Dannon out here. But it was a good attempt at the plan. I thought it was very fun. I did get hyped when Zola was like, yo, I can't connect. Like, it is made for Interstellar, but he's off grid. Like, he's not on in this realm. And I was like, yeah. It was pretty dope that he was able to figure that out, which again showed the scope and the depth of Zola at this point in time. Now that he's connected to technology, and he low-key is another Ultron Jarvis, low-key. I thought it was pretty cool though.
Yeah, the thing is, now that he's connected to the hive, like, how much information does he have? Like, how much information does the main Ultron let the other ones have? So that's something really interesting that we could find out in the next episode. I love Hawkeye's send off, man. Like, I thought the score was great, the animation was great, the fact that, like, I don't want to fight anymore. Like, again, his wife, his kids are dead. He's been fighting for so long, and he doesn't really understand, like, what he's fighting for anymore. And he made the ultimate sacrifice. Like, this is my favorite shot of the whole episode. Like, I'm gonna pull it up on screen right now.
Him
like
falling,
him falling, shooting that one Ultron bot in the head, and then it just causes this ridiculous explosion that kills them all, by the way. Great send-off for Hawkeye in this episode.
Well, here's my thing. Do you think that they're, you know, how often they showed us Tony dying and like, look, he's not coming back. Shout out to Ray. Every time we've seen the Hawkeye, he's been dying out here. You think they're telling us like, yo, get ready because in the Hawkeye series, he's going to die? You think that's what we're gonna get?
I hope not. I want him to retire with the kids, and I want Kate Bishop to be the new Hawkeye once the series is done. I don't need Clint to die.
New Hawkeye with Clint dead.
I don't need Clint dead. He should get to live with his family. Like,
yeah, but we, like you mentioned, you know, this moment I don't want to fight and I don't want to keep fighting. He dies. So
in the Hawkeye trailer, he uses an arrow that like flips over a car, and then the girl says, "There's stronger arrows than that." I think this is one of those stronger arrows.
Yeah.
Because he blew the whole shit up, and it was the homage to the Scarlett Johansson dying and sacrificing herself.
Endgame.
Yeah, so
that broke me, man.
That was pretty much the opposite of it, and he let go. It was pretty much the exact opposite of it, and I enjoyed that he didn't just fall though. Like, he was like, "No, fuck that." He turned around and he started shooting. I was like, "Okay, yeah, I fuck with this." Like, I enjoyed it, and just that whole sequence where they were kind of like fighting through it was really, really good. This episode had a lot of good action in it. I really fucking enjoyed. Like,
it was a great episode. If I give Doctor Strange a 10.5 out of 10, I will give the Ultron episode a 10.25 out of 10.
See, the Doctor Strange episode is really, really good.
Hey,
like you said, writing
the writing was spectacular.
But I feel like you get that writing and you get this extra with the action.
But do you really get true emotion as you did with Doctor Strange, as you do with Ultron?
I feel you. It's only because I'm an Ultron fanboy. I just can't, dude. Because
we're
gonna get into all of the crazy shit that Ultron and Uatu do in this next couple of scenes. But I just wanted to bring up this image real quick. Natasha posing with the shield. Fucking awesome. All I can hear is Elena in my head, just like, such a pose.
Yo, for real! Immediately thought of the Black Widow movie, and that made me mad excited because I did enjoy the Black Widow movie. It was great. It was fun.
It was a few little nods to the Black Widow movie. So to those people that have not seen it,
go watch it.
Shame on
because
you.
that scene with the Red Guardian shield will hit better for you.
Yeah,
it will hit better.
It will. It really will.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into arguably the best part of this entire fucking episode. Ultron versus Uatu, right? this sequence is absolutely fucking insane. It's like almost like I can't remember exactly how long it is, but it is some of the craziest shit I've ever seen in like any comic book animated TV show. Like, I shit you not. Like, I love when they get to like the grass planet and Ultron just like clears out the entire fucking area and he's just going at it with Uatu. And I love that we get the Kirby crackles. Like, I love that shit. Like, it took me instantly back to the comics, just like that Jack Kirby style of animation. I was losing it, bro. Like, and Ultron, again, I said this on Twitter. Shout out to Ross Marquand for his incredible voice acting as Ultron in this episode. He was amazing. All these worlds, all that suffering, and you did nothing, right? And Uatu says that he made a promise, right? He made an oath to not interfere with the natural order. Question.
Yeah.
Is it to the one above all? Is it to the Council of Watchers? Like, who? That is the question.
That's what I'm interested in. I wonder if we're gonna get an explanation in that next week.
The Living Tribunal?
Or the Living Tribunal. That's definitely possible. I mean, they showed them to us in Loki. So we know they're in the universe, so
yeah, we've had constant cameos of him throughout the MCU so far, so why not just one more mention, one more implication. But I'm not sure. It'd be cool.
So I love this shot of Uatu getting into his armor. I lost my fucking shit. Cause I don't know how many of you guys, but I've never seen a Watcher. I've never seen Uatu in armor before. I have seen a Watcher in armor before, but never Uatu. And this was fucking sick. Like, his transformation was amazing. Like, I absolutely love this scene, dude. You cannot compute the power of my will. And then he gets his ass kicked throughout the entire multiverse.
I thought he was about to show us something. I thought he was about to say, now take your ass over there to that other universe where Thor's party in it. That's what I thought we were going to see.
What is willpower to a fucking machine? Like, come on, Uatu.
I'm not going to lie. I was like, he's about to whoop his ass. And you're going to be like, all right, now take your ass to that universe where Thor's partying at. And that's how I thought he was going to. I really thought he was about to show out.
And then on top of that, it's like, yeah, Uatu, you may be a Watcher and all, but y'all took an oath of passiveness. You ain't been working out the muscles, baby.
Yeah.
You ain't been in the gym, baby. You wasn't with us shooting in the gym, baby. Mm-hmm. But who was Ultron? So he was like, "This is the best you got." I don't feel pain, right? This don't really
right.
Work.
Like,
I got the Infinity Stone, so I can repair myself at will. Like,
that too.
What is you really doing? Captain Marvel tried the same shit, and I was just like, this was a cute attempt. You tried. I appreciate you, and I'm gonna give you an A for effort. Now let me end you. Uatu lucky as hell he ain't died. That's why Uatu ran, and Ultron was like,
he had no choice.
Well, first of all, before he ran, every punch was just changing. You saw the people go from human to Skrull.
Dude, he's punching. Each punch sends them into another universe. That was crazy. So real quick. So I mentioned earlier on in the review about a potential Star Wars reference, right? So as Ultron is pushing Uatu throughout the universes, we see an ice planet and we see a lava planet. If you pause that frame, there is a castle that kind of looks like Darth Vader's castle on Mustafar. Go pause it. I don't have that screenshot. I failed you guys, but go pause it. I'll probably post it on Twitter tonight, but go pause it. It potentially looks like they're trying to say that the Star Wars universe is a part of the multiverse in the MCU, which would be fucking nuts. Which would be absolutely nuts. Mm-hmm. But back to the Kirby crackle. So for you guys that don't know what that is, like, I'll bring up this shot of Ultron and Uatu real quick. Like, this shot of Ultron is fucking dope. And then we got Uatu blocking it, and you see those black circles. Those are the Kirby crackles. It's meant to display cosmic power on the page, and I absolutely love it again that they brought that into this episode. Another thing that was very Kirby like was when they're going through the universes, Ultron gets super big, fucking eats a galaxy. He eats a fucking galaxy. What?
Hey, I'm
gonna bring this up. He eats a fucking galaxy, and this was the dopest Galactus Easter egg that they could have put into anything ever, bro. So what did you guys think about all of like the fight between Uatu and Ultron? Give me some of your favorite moments.
Uatu needs some milk, baby. That man was getting his ass dragged from multiverse, from universe to universe to universe. Mm-hmm. So much so he got knocked his ass into a different universe, and instead he looked up in the sky and Ultron was like, look, dog, I'm not even about to meet you on the ground. I don't need to do that. Let me just consume this galaxy. Let me consume this universe right here, right now. Because I worked up a little, I got a little hungry, giving you this 2-piece biscuit, no drink, no water, no on me.
Popeye's
So let me
biscuit.
take this bite into these really honey butter sweet biscuit that is moist, that is like soft cake. So I bite into it, and Uatu's like, "Oh no, my ass is getting kicked. Let me run." And Ultron, this is what he does. This is what about KBAC Ultron, God Ultron does. No matter where you run, no matter where you hide, no matter who you call, Ghostbusters will not be there. I don't care whether you interfere, whether you don't interfere. Do you know who I am? My name is Ultron. That is Ultron. Ask about me in the multiverse. I come to your world. Otiku, erased, gone, cut, gone. Uatu, it don't matter what you do. I'll deal with you later. Let me go bring peace everywhere. Let me kill every single body. You are irrelevant. And then Uatu goes, runs off to meet Dr. Strange. It's like, Dr. Strange, I need you. And what the Dr. Strange said, like, word, I know. But
right? But I need you to say it.
Tell me. Say the word. I'm not a mind reader, even though technically I can't, but say the word. And Uatu's like, wow, you really gonna make me say that? Hey, remember when I was begging you for shit? And you ain't saying nothing. You was just like, hey, I would love to if I could, but you wasn't listening, dog. So good luck to you. I'm gonna hop over to this world. All right. Yeah, I'll come around 2:00 tomorrow. All right, deuces. Nah, you be on your bully, Strange. Talk your shit. Make that man beg.
Right?
I was expecting to be like, do a handshake, but I was like, that's kind of corny. But I like this with your big head ass. You tell him, you Strange. Look, oh God, help me. I'm so sorry. Please help me. Do you see him? He beat my ass. He beat my ass. Please, Ed, y'all.
He almost kills him. He almost killed a Watcher, bro.
Just straight at the mouth. Straight at the mouth.
And handily.
Steve, what were some of your favorite moments?
So, first off, when the fights where he was punching and he was changing, and you could literally see the Skrulls' face on one of the punches. They were like, "Oh my God, he's killing
yes!
like
they're like, ooh,
have some mercy, please."
He's already dead.
The punches were like, bam, New Galaxy. Bam, Wakanda was like, what's going over there? The next punch, the Skrulls was like, oh shit. They're like, oh my God.
On the Wakanda thing, do you think that was a universe where Wakanda took over the Earth?
Ooh.
Because remember, right? Like they're in one spot, and he's just punching Uatu into different universes, but they're still technically in that same spot in the universe. So it's like,
okay,
where what used to be New York is now or Washington, wherever they were, is now like Wakandan territory, right?
You can see that.
And speaking of that, one of them, Steve Rogers became president. Like
Steve Rogers was the president. I was sworn in as
president.
But hold on, was that Wakandan one the one where Killmonger takes over? Is that the same universe?
It could be. Ooh. I didn't even think of that.
Because who's to say we don't see Killmonger be like, hey, you know what, sir, your mind, we need it. Even though really, do you need his mind when you got Strange and everybody else? But who knows? Who knows?
The Steve Rogers president moment makes me think of President Loki. So maybe we get a President Loki situation where where Loki is there for Who Killed Thor situation, and he's there and he runs for president. And in that universe, Steve Rogers is like, I can't let Loki fucking be president, and he fucking runs for president and wins.
So here's the thing.
So maybe all of these punches are galaxies from the episodes we've seen, and we're about to tie them all in. So now I need to watch the episode again and literally watch every punch to see.
I mean,
where
one of them was like an ice planet and some other shit that we haven't seen before.
Well, the ice planet thing, though, is could be similar to, you know, the whole Loki situation. Honestly, you know, because Fury went to the snowy mountains to call on Loki to do the plan. But also, the fact of the matter is we're assuming we're going to get 7 members. Well, we're assuming we're going to pull at least one character from each episode that we've seen thus far. But then you have 2 episodes. Well, we already seen that you pull out Strange from his. I mean, he's the only one, but look what he was able to do. He was worth it. But from the Hank Pym episode, the Loki takes over episode, Loki invasion episode, and from the zombies episode, who do you pick from each universe? Do you pick somebody from those episodes?
Well, from the Hank Pym episode,
you could get Spider-Man. You can get Spider-Man with the cloak from the zombie episode. The other thing does what? Go ahead.
We never saw Captain America die in the Hank Pym episode.
But then you have Captain Carter already.
I mean, because wasn't he still in ice?
Yeah, he was still in ice.
So now you got 2 captains that's going to, I guess, headbutt.
But wouldn't you just pull Captain Marvel from that universe then? Or
both?
I mean, I don't see us picking out Loki because Loki got his own concerns right there.
I'm about to say in every universe, we didn't get to see a lot of Captain Marvels. If you really want to.
No, but if instead of picking out a Captain America, because you're already going to have Captain Carter, why don't you just pull Captain Marvel from that universe?
But I'm saying if you want to be technical, there's only one Captain Marvel that's dead. If you go to every universe and say, hey, I'm gonna take 12 Captain Marvels, you got a better chance than taking fucking Captain Carter.
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is that from every episode, we're at least going to take one character, one of an important figure from that to build the team. Mm-hmm. So, first episode obviously is going to be Captain Carter. Second episode is obviously going to be Star-Lord T'Challa. Right. Third episode is the Loki invasion episode, correct?
Yeah.
No. Yes. So I assume you could take Captain America, but it is like you already have Captain Carter, so it's too similar. Or you could take Captain Marvel from that episode because she was
from the end of that one,
yeah, because then in the Party Thor episode you're going to take Thor out. You wouldn't take Captain Marvel.
You'll take Thor from that one.
You'll take Thor from that one.
So
the zombie episode, I have no idea though.
You take Spider-Man with the cloak. It's got to be.
Yeah, I would take Spider-Man with the cloak.
What if you were to?
Because other than that, you get to T'Challa with one leg, which makes sense.
So does Spidey with the cloak happen before that universe is ended by zombie Thanos?
I mean, Uatu could do it though. He could pull him right before they get into Wakanda and end up dead.
Damn. So we're gonna see just T'Challa abandoned and die all over again.
No. For all we know, all of this is happening at the same time, simultaneously.
No, because each of them is following their own timeline respective to the MCU.
Yes,
but like we said, I mean, technically,
but isn't Uatu watching all of them simultaneously?
At the same, he could be watching these all simultaneously at the same time.
But then, does that mean you do bring in Killmonger? Do you bring in Killmonger onto the team?
No.
Yeah.
No, I would. Because for that one. Right? You got Shuri and Pepper is about to fight.
Shuri too young, no. You really go. I mean, she can, but I mean, Killmonger was a star.
He was a star.
If you're to pull someone from each episode, we don't know. We know some of the team members. Doesn't mean that one needs to be pulled out from every episode.
Regardless of what he did, King Killmonger is a great tactician.
Yeah,
that
could be used, but who knows?
So there's 17 members, right?
Well, I mean, we don't know how many.
It's not confirmed.
Oh, I'm about to say, if there is 17 members, then technically there's been 7 episodes.
Yeah.
So then you would definitely have to pull one per episode.
But then remember, we're gonna get Mad Titan Gamora, so she could replace whoever's supposed to come from Killmonger's episode. So,
bro, I can't wait for this shit. Like, I think it's going to be a situation where Thanos was on his path to saving the galaxy, the universe, right? But then Gamora kills him, takes his armor, takes his blade, and then becomes the Mad Titan herself to scare the rest of the galaxy into seeing how powerful she is because she fucking killed Thanos, right? So I mean, that's just one theory that I have. Like, do you guys have any theories on how Gamora became the Mad Titan?
Because for this episode to be a tie-in, and we're going to see her become the Mad Titan, this has to be longer than 30 minutes, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to introduce Gamora, the Guardians of the Multiverse, defeat Ultron. Like, how do you do that in less than 30 minutes, really?
Unless the entire season 2 is fighting Ultron.
Stop. They better not, bro.
What a cliffhanger.
Right? It's like, yeah, see you guys in 2022.
The entire season.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
Oh,
I would be shit.
let's quote that just in case I'm right, because I'm not really right too much. But like the entire season 2 is the team versus Ultron. That would be dope. But the way that I think that she becomes the Mad Titan, I think it could be one of those situations where she's in a different multiverse and she's pissed off, like she actually cares about her sister Nebula a lot, and Nebula is being tortured, and she snaps to a point where she's like, no, you're not going to do this to my sister anymore. She snaps, she kills Thanos, and then she gets the power, and then when she gets the power, she's like, oh, this is great, and she goes over the edge. That's what I think for that.
Okay. Hey, what about you? And chat, I want you guys to chime in on this one too. Like, what do you guys think? How does Gamora become the Mad Titan? Because she has Thanos' armor, his blade, and that was the same armor and blade that he took to her planet. Yes, she was a little kid, but it's like they still have that connection, right? So it's like, when does it happen? Because Steve had a really good idea. That was actually really good, because she would have been an adult. She sees Thanos torturing her sister, can't do it anymore, fucking murks him, and then takes on the mantle. But what do you think?
I kind of like the idea because she's taken the title of Mad Titan, so she has to kind of be unhinged a little bit, right? So I see her being raised by Thanos, but then it's that situation where it's like, yo, your vision is too small. Like, you gotten soft, old man. It's time to be usurped. Like, so I'm going to stage a coup, take over, and I'm going to better your vision. Like, kill all that 50% talk. I'm on my Ultron bully shit, right? I'm here to end life, end worlds, unless you serve
please.
Me. Like, give me that. Give me a badass Gamora. Give me that. I want that. You see, I want that now. I want that.
Yeah, because I mean, there was a time in Gamora's life where she was actively trying to do everything to be a good daughter to Thanos, because she knows what it would mean if she didn't, right? So it would be really interesting if this What If episode explores that side of Gamora that did kill a lot of people. She did. She was a part of all of that stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see that. But any other final thoughts on this episode before we talk predictions for, like, further predictions for the finale?
Last thoughts. Let's see. Did we touched on everything pretty much? No, I like I said, I enjoyed the fights in this one. This one, I feel like this was all about the action. Like, it was really, really dope. Pretty much
Ultron supremacy.
It looked like a kaleidoscope almost when he was inside the what did you call it? The in between. It looked like
I'm gonna call it the in between.
Look, the in between looked like a kaleidoscope world. So they kind of looked like it. It actually was dope the way that it was done.
I didn't, speaking on that's dope, because I did enjoy the color change when Ultron was there. Everything just became red rather than the colorful, because
that's how he corrupts everything.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And when he got him out there the first time, it was like everything went back to him. It was like, cool. And then, of course, after the talk, it's like, man, how is that even possible? But Ultron's like, see, I found you. I will find you again. And then everything went back red. I was like, oh, Ultron fucking up this universe. Y'all ain't gonna stop shit.
And speaking of the color, like when Ultron first takes over Vision and he's in the body, Vision's eyes aren't blue, they're red. So it's like that color, that parallel. Yeah, I really love that.
Yeah. Overall, it was, again, I was just excited by just how well this episode was, how they portrayed exactly how badass and dangerous Ultron really is. Because as I keep saying, Ultron is on his brainiac shit. He's always been capable of that. And I mean, when you look at the Ultron storyline, how many Ultrons have existed? At least 15 plus. Just like there's so many different brainiacs. Age of Ultron, the MCU film, did no justice to imply like this he can be this badass. This episode is saying like kill all that noise, put some respect on Ultron's name, and I appreciate that they did a good job of that.
Yeah, man. For me, this was everything that I wanted. Like we've talked about this millions of times, but I am not a fan of the petulant child Ultron from that movie. That is not the Age of Ultron. That is not Ultron, period. This Ultron, the cold, calculated Ultron that is only trying to complete his mission, which is peace of our time, which is getting rid of all life. Because as humans, all we do is fuck each other over. We kill each other for resources. There is no peace if we exist. And Ultron figured that out in seconds, much like Skynet. In seconds, they realized that in order for this planet to exist and flourish, humanity cannot be a part of it, right? And I love that. Ultron was able to come to that decision in seconds and immediately executed on it. That's what made him so cold. But in Age of Ultron, when Tony Stark's my daddy, do I look like Iron Man? I just don't care. It's fucking boring. But like Abe said, like they find ways to fix past issues that just didn't work. Kevin Feige and the team, you know what? We fucked up. This was not what we wanted it to be. This did not live up to where it needed to go. Let's do something else now that we have What If. And they gave us one of the best versions of Age of Ultron that we could get. You know what I mean? Like he fought Uatu throughout the multiverse, breaking universes, eating galaxies. This is everything that I could have asked for, which is why it's my favorite episode of What If so far. Insane. I can't wait to see how they're going to wrap it up. Like, we touched on it briefly, but do we leave it on a cliffhanger for season 2? Do we end Ultron in this episode? Where do the Guardians of the Multiverse go from here? With this new knowledge of the multiverse, do they go back to their own universes with this knowledge? Does Uatu have the power to erase their memories? Like, there's so many different possibilities of how the finale can end. So if you guys have any other thoughts, like, what do you think could happen in the finale?
Now that I said it, I think it's definitely going to be a cliffhanger. Because it is marketing. I do a cliffhanger. Now everybody's talking about it. And now for the next week or two, because it's on a streaming platform. So for the next week or two, we'll talk about it. We'll discuss theories, et cetera, et cetera. Then when the season is about to start, a week when we drop the trailer, that's all we're going to talk about. All you're going to talk about is what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what's going to happen. It's marketing. I definitely think it's going to be a cliffhanger, and it's going to be what if we waited till season 2 to show you what's going to happen. And that's what I think. I think that's what we're going to get.
So, personally for me, I believe that we'll get perfect Ultron, Infinity Stone Ultron up out the paint, but it won't necessarily end Ultron, because the cliffhanger I envision is that this show is going to end on a moment that's going to get us hyped for the following movies that are to come out, and to lay more groundwork for the rest of Phase 4. And then when we get season 2 of What If, is going to pick up from whatever the most recently released Phase 4 project was. Because do we have a timetable for when season 2 is supposed to come out?
Not yet.
Okay. So let's say the cliffhanger we're going to get is going to connect to Spider-Man No Way Home, possibly. It's probably going to connect to Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I believe that's what we're going to get. Or maybe, hey, we might get a Loki season 2 connection or an Ant-Man 3 connection. but we definitely don't get rid of Ultron permanently. He will come back, because as you saw the shout out to Ray as well. As you saw in the group chat, I sent the cover page of Annihilation Conquest, where Ultron takes over the Phalanx, which is a possible storyline that I mentioned back when we were discussing the Lamentus episode of Loki. I like this. It's like, all right, he gets taken out, but what does he want to do? He still wants to take over he still wants to eradicate multiverse. The Phalanx is a great way to do that, because the Phalanx was like, hey, we're a hive, you assimilate to us. He's like, first of all, Biko, relax. Do you know who I am? They call me Oluwa Ultron. They call me Oba Ultron. You don't assimilate me, I assimilate you. And he's gonna take over the Phalanx. He's gonna be like, I'm back, bitches. Y'all thought y'all got me up out of the paint. I don't need the stone. I got this whole army with me. Bam. Where the X-Men at? I'm trying to beat their ass. I'm not saying we're gonna get that in season 2, but that's later for phase 4, phase 5, phase 6. But I do believe we end on a cliffhanger, like Steve had mentioned. We're not gonna get a clean resolution.
I think you assemble. I even think you assemble the team because they have to, like you said, JB. They have to do the Gamora backstory. They have to. Even if it takes 20 minutes at a time, we only got 10 minutes left. So now we do 10 minutes where the team is together. Let's take a shot at Ultron. Ultron beats their ass, and then we get a cliffhanger. Or they take a shot at Ultron and they win, but I don't see you winning. I don't see them coming up with a situation where they win in 10 minutes of a show, and because it's gonna leave all of us going, that's it.
Yeah.
So I just don't see it. I don't see it unless they somehow give us a 2-hour finale or something crazy like that, which would be amazing if they did it.
That's a whole movie. Hold on, relax.
Right?
Hey, if they did that, I would hit the group chat and be like, look, I have to take the day off from work.
So Rob, I'm in between you, Abe, and Steve right now. So I think that they defeat Ultron at the end, but we know for a fact that Ultron isn't done and will eventually potentially get to Annihilation Conquest, right? But where I think it ends is Uatu looking in on Spider-Man No Way Home after him and Doctor Strange change everything. Now, I won't go into the Venom post-credit scene, but based on what happens in that post-credit scene, it would make sense for the Watcher to be looking in on something, on an event like this that changes the main MCU universe forever. So I think potentially, and I would lose my shit if it happens, but what if Uatu looks in on Spider-Man and Doctor Strange in that moment? I don't know.
So I need to go watch Venom.
Yeah, I gotta go watch it now.
Yeah, I'm seeing it on like Wednesday. I'm busy this weekend.
Oh, okay. So you just know that there's a post-credit scene.
I've seen it. It leaked online. Like when it came out on Thursday, it leaked online, and I saw it. Oh, I can send it to you in the group chat if you want to see it. It's not a spoiler for the movie itself. It's a spoiler for something else, which is insane.
The post-credit scene made me realize, like, damn, I'm really gonna have to watch Venom 1 and 2 now, huh? All right.
Do you have to watch Venom though? You can skip the first 40 minutes and just watch the last half of the movie.
Look,
I mean, dude, you know how Venom works. You know how he came to be.
Yeah.
You don't need to watch the first 40 minutes. I think the first 40 minutes is unwatchable. Definitely watch it, right? And you can form your own opinion. Okay. But to me, after I've seen it, I'll never watch the first 40 minutes ever again. For what?
Yeah.
I don't need to watch that again. So I'll skip to the middle and then watch that.
Tell hit me up and was like, hey, Steve, have you seen Venom? And I was like, yeah. He said, what'd you think of it? I was like, it was a movie. And he was like, What does that mean?
It happened.
I was like, it was.
There was an antagonist, I think.
Yeah, you know,
it was a movie, man, and that's all I can really say without like bashing the hell out of it. But it was a movie.
Like we saw something.
Yeah, it's
you
like
you got something.
All the Venom and Eddie Brock shit is awesome. As soon as they come on screen, it's awesome. Problem is, it takes 40 minutes to get them on screen in a fucking Venom movie. That's the problem. It takes so long to finally get to Venom and Eddie, and then it's actually a lot of fun. It's really generic. Like you will know everything that happens instantly because it's the same thing as every other movie you've ever seen since the dawn of time. But Venom's awesome, which is good.
The reason I'm willing to watch number 2 especially is because I saw an article that said that Harrelson went to the comics and did his due diligence to study and read up on Cletus Cassidy so he could try to capture him. And you know, Harrelson has always struck me as he's perfect for Cletus, in my opinion. I like his look, the way he talks, everything. It works well for me. So I'm willing to see it because, you know, I love Carnage, first of all. You know, yeah, I love everything. Carnage is my favorite symbiote. Carnage is the best symbiote, you know? So thanks to the post-credit scene, you know what, Harrelson, knock me off my feet, you know, give me something good. Give me what people thought were lacking and set me up for the future of Venomverse and what Sony has in store.
Yeah, when I saw Harrelson at the end of the end credit scene of Venom, I immediately was like, "Oh, he's gonna be good."
Yeah,
oh yeah.
But the second that they did the end credit scene, I was like, "Oh shoot, Harrelson gonna be Carnage. He's gonna be good, but they're not gonna make a part 2." That's what went through my head. I thought
that
this
wig
shit was over.
Man,
I did not think that we were gonna get a Venom part 2. I was like, this shit's gonna flop because I didn't enjoy the movie. And I was like, too bad. I was like, Harrelson is going to be a great Carnage.
I'm glad Harrelson complained about the wig as well. I'm glad he complained about that wig. Harrelson, you know, awful. I appreciate you. Yeah, it was stupid. He was like, can we get that out of here? Like, don't do that to
please. It was real bad. But yeah, man, this episode was absolutely incredible. Again, to reiterate for the third time, this is my favorite episode so far. And I really can't wait for the finale to see how it all wraps up, how it connects to the greater MCU, what happens to the rest of the multiverse from here. We've seen so many different things in the MCU so far that have led to the madness in the multiverse. So where does it all end after this? So I'm very excited. And yeah, man, MCU is fucking undefeated right now, bro. Like this episode, this is god tier, like comic book content. So yeah, I fucking love it. Any other final thoughts before we wrap up for the night, guys?
Nah, just again, if you don't rock with Phase 4, go outside, touch some grass, come back, and you know, talk to yourself in the mirror or some joint. But this is we're getting quality content right now, and we're getting it all in one centralized place. So it's very easy to follow, very easy to see. The shows are hitting, and you get that for free. I mean, well, technically you pay for a monthly subscription for it, but you technically get it for free. Yeah, and then we're getting the movies, and we're getting the projects closer to each other as a result, because before it's just, hey, we wait for a movie to come out, what we get like maybe 3 movies in a year, maybe even 4. But this time it's like, hey, in between the movies, we're gonna drop you a series. Like you're constantly being filled with Marvel content, and as a fan, you can't help but just be happy and satisfied with that. Like, how can you complain?
Right?
How does that make sense?
And it's been so good.
Oh, good.
Steve, any other final thoughts? If not, give him your plugs.
I'm ready for our who shot JR moment for the next for next week. And yeah, man, I'm excited though. Like Marvel has just been great. Like you guys say, like, and after this we jump straight into Spider-Man, and then after that we get Eternals, and we get was it She-Hulk and no Moonlight. Moonlight first, right?
Not this year. No.
Yeah,
the last
She-Hulk's supposed to be first, right?
She-Hulk's first.
Yeah, She-Hulk will be next year. We're not getting that. Oh no, we're still getting the Miss Marvel show this year. Or is that that's next year? That's next year.
I think they pushed it to next year.
I thought She-Hulk was like January, February. But I thought we were gonna get like Moon Knight or something like in November or December.
No,
Nah,
not this
I
year.
don't.
We're not getting
Yeah, Moon Knight's not this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last one will be Hawkeye because Hawkeye comes out end of November and it's gonna run into December, might end early January. Or is it starting?
Oh yeah, that's this year.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it Hawkeye's the last show.
Yeah, it starts November 24th.
Yeah, and so it's gonna so it's gonna end early January. It's gonna end early January.
So we'll get Spider-Man, and then we'll get Eternals, and then we'll get
Eternals, Hawkeye, Spider-Man. That's the order.
Eternals, Hawkeye, Spider-Man. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because Eternals is like November 5th, right?
Yeah. Eternals is first. Yeah, we're gonna get that drawn first.
So we got a little gap though for October.
Yeah, we got a small gap. Mm-hmm. We got the month of October off. I mean, well, technically 3 weeks off because the last episode is next Wednesday. So we got a little bit of time in between Marvel, but that's why, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Halloween, the month of Halloween. We're going to keep you satiated with some awesome recommendations regardless. From not only Careful for Spoilers, but also Inside the Mind of a Blurred. You will get all your horror-themed content from us. So, definitely check us out. With that being said, it is your boy, the Djinn of Apocalypse, and you will now know why I can call myself that after today's tweet about Wishmaster, one of my favorite horror movies. Honestly, rewatched it again, even though it was made in 1997, and it still holds up well. Go ahead and to Amazon Prime to go watch it while it's still up there because the rest of the series doesn't matter. It's only the first one that's really important. That being said, it's the Djinn of Apocalypse, Laburu himself, the Kang variant, son of Darkseid, Prince A. Lawal. Definitely follow me on Twitter at Prince_A. Lawal, as well as on Twitch and other streaming platforms. Or I guess, no, I'm not on streaming platforms. I don't have a show just yet. But follow the Ocean 8 podcast. We drop episodes every Wednesday and Sundays. New episode coming on Sunday. And of course, because it's Independence Day today, me and Osahan showed out. We was acting up. So exciting episode on Sunday. Follow Inside the Mind of a Blurred. Follow My Naka Mixer. Follow Anime Lately. Careful for Spoilers. Spicy Lady Gaming. You know what it is. It's your favorite evil villain of all time. Go ahead.
Steve, where can they find you?
You can follow me at ScooterSteve1428. You can find me on Inside the Mind of the Blurred. Follow the Blurred Mind Pod, and they have a link tree that leads you to everything that me and my team are doing. Whereas it's Abe's Twitch, Black's YouTube, his Twitch, everybody else's Twitch. And like Abe has said earlier, we are going to be recommending a different movie, video game, or anime series, whichever, or all three, which it just depends on whoever answers the call for that. But for today, the theme was Freddy. So we gave you Nightmare on Elm Street, and then we gave you Five Nights at Freddy's. So that was the theme, kind of like trying to connect them. That's what we're going to try to go with for each day. We're going to try to connect them in some way, some form, even if it's just a little small reach or something like that. It's still something. So yeah, that's what you can do for us. You can follow us, follow My Naka Mixer, follow Scholar Scuba Steve on the YouTube channel, and yeah,
man, you guys can follow me all over social media at JB Exclusive. Follow me also at C4SVillains. You want to find absolutely everything that we do. You want to find links to the Patreon, all of our social media, the merch store. Head over to carefulforspoilers.com. Like Abe already mentioned, we're doing 31 days of Halloween. We started with Wishmaster today. My first pick is up tomorrow. Can't wait to reveal that to you guys. As far as the Black Widow digital code giveaway, all you got to do is tweet at us using the hashtags on Twitter. And just tweet at us talking about the What If episode about Black Widow, and you get a free entry to win a digital code. So tweet at us. I will DM the winner sometime this week, just waiting for people to respond. It's like, I'm giving away a free digital code. Like, you guys, all you got to do is tweet at us, and you get a chance to win it. So check that out for sure. As soon as What If is over, that first Friday's show, we're going to be doing a comic book review or a couple comic book recommendations. And then for the rest of October, Abe and I are going to be taking that showtime to review some horror movies. We've been talking about it for a while. This is the perfect month. We still have to talk about Malignant. Halloween Kills is the 15th. Like, there's just so much shit to talk about, guys. Like,
and the Chucky series, October 12th.
And the Chucky series comes out on October 12th. Yeah. So Abe and I we're gonna have some stuff on for you guys. Hopefully, we'll see if we can drag Vash and Steve on one of those reviews.
But I'm down. I don't mind being terrified for a couple hours if we could put out content. I'm down.
We're also going to be talking about Midnight Mass. Midnight Mass was fucking flames. Yeah, so as soon as Abe watches that, like, we're definitely going to review it on the channel. So yeah, there's going to be a break with comic book content between What If and Hawkeye, but we're going to fill it with horror reviews, other movie reviews. Probably won't be on the villain show. We'll probably bring back up just the main, like, Careful for Spoilers podcast. We'll turn that into a live show on the Fridays. But yeah, got a lot of stuff coming for you guys. Stay tuned to our Twitter. We got a lot of stuff going on. But thank you every single one of you in chat for being here. Thank you for showing up every single week, putting in the work in the chat, joining in the conversation. But yeah, for the entire crew.
And go watch Wishmaster right now. You're done with the show. It is October 1st. Hop on Amazon Prime, whether you have it or you need your homies. Go watch Wishmaster and enjoy the 1997 attempt at a new hit horror franchise that could have worked well, but you know, everybody involved with number 2 wasn't too bad. 3 and 4 we don't need to speak of, but definitely go watch Wishmaster. The Jin is awesome.
Yeah, make sure you guys go do that. Let us know on Twitter if you liked the movie. If you didn't like it, let us know. But yeah, man, again, thank you guys, every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you guys on the next one.